Well, hello. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our Sunday Tarot. Oh, it's good to be here on a Sunday. As you can see, my familiar is about her business. She is looking at our private courtyard, checking to see if any birds are coming to clean up any picnics or anything that people had. There was a note from the manager about our gardens, like not to leave food and whatnot, because it was attracting birds and squirrels. And that actually is what she loves, because if people don't clean up after themselves, she can watch them having their lunch. All right, so let's get started. My goodness, I've been busy. Have y'all been busy? I've been so busy. I have been so blessed. Thank you all who have bothered to tune in today, hang out with me. We're here for an hour. I think we're going to go until about 12:05. And then after that, if we are so inclined, we might have an after hours show where we just hang. But we're here till about 12:05 today. I want to start off by saying, giving gratitude to everybody who has decided to stop by, become fans of the channel. I really do appreciate it. I also want to give gratitude to everybody who made PayPal donations. That's totally, I was totally surprised by it. Some of them have been really quite substantial. So I just want to thank you. I try to get thank you cards out for everybody who did that. Also, thank you to everyone who's done applause donations. Thank you, Marie Wells. She just made a donation. For this type of thing, if you can just watch the commercials, donations are always appreciated. But I understand that it's COVID and not everybody can afford to donate. Just take care of yourselves. These are hard times. And but if you can watch the commercials, the money is collected from the commercials and donated to charity. So we do appreciate that. All right, if you haven't had a chance to do so, I always want to remind people to be sure and share, like, and subscribe these videos. And of course, push the bell notification so that you can be informed about future videos. All right, now let's go ahead and say hi to everybody who was kind enough to join us. Hello, Marie Wells. Thank you so much for the donation. Hello, Marie Granjadinis, Sweden. Very nice. Robin Gray is in the house. Good to see you. Jello, yes. We're going to be talking about Malcolm Neck. We're going to be talking about the hacks. Annie Marie, welcome, welcome. Julie Tirado, welcome. Laura Carlson's in the house. Good to see you. SS is in the house. Laura Vescovi, good to see you. Jackie, hello. Julie Tirado, hello. Catherine Rodriguez, welcome. Elizabeth Coombs, welcome, welcome. Also want to give a shout out to Keisha Harris. She was kind enough to be our moderator today. Thank you. Susan T, hello. Susie Q, hello. Cartomancy Mesquite, hello. Super Queen B45, always great to see you here. Mark Rhodes, extraordinary person. He was kind enough to send me the chocolates and the Finch t-shirts. People had asked about the Finch t-shirts. They sell out very, very quickly. And some of them are limited editions. So it's like, oh my God, I better preserve this thing. Yeah, so people had asked about purchasing those. Hey, love back at Mark Rhodes. All right. Oh, good. Celtic Tarot. Sheila's here. Great to see you, Sheila. Boy, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. And hi, Douglas. Good to see you as well. I'm pretty impressed by how far along some of the people that have been doing the heart-centered remote viewing, and they've been giving me feedback. It's like, dang, you folks are really good. I don't know if there's anything more I can teach you. You guys are doing great. Thank you to Hope Morissette. Thank you so much to the Raven Rose 13. Greetings and salutations back to you as well for those gracious donations. All right, everybody. We have got so many RVs to get through. I know everybody is excited about the RVs. Everybody's freaking out, and I'm freaking out too. And oh my God, this is getting really intense. Now, we have to go back a little bit in the story to let people know about the previous remote viewings that we have done so that everybody can be up to snuff. Because what we do is a mindfulness meditation. We follow energy, action, reaction. That's what we're doing in the meditative state. And in addition to trying to remote view people, we're also following energy using mindfulness. Thank you so much, darling Garby. Very, very kind to make that donation. So, God, I don't even know where to start. There's just so much stuff. Okay, the first remote. When I first went in, when you first do the remotes, when you do the 5-step technique, the first thing you do is you do the abiding technique, right? You do step 3, you abide with yourself, any lessons or spiritual information you need for yourself first. You take care of yourself first before you go and attempt to make contact with somebody else. Thank you, Sandra. That's very, very sweet of you. Aw, Christopher, thank you so much. That little thing you've got rolling there looks like my cat laughing when I scratch her belly. She does stuff like that. It's very cute. All right, so listen. So the meditation I did that came to me during my meditation for myself had to do with, again, this thesis I've been working on the issue of why victim bashing is such a huge problem in feudal societies. We've talked about that. We've talked about how the function of making someone believe that they've deserved their karma is to keep the structure in place, right? Keep slaves slaves. If you can convince them that they deserve this, you can maintain the economic order. So I was meditating on that last night, and I thought about the Bible verse, the sins of the father being passed on to the children to 4 generations, and how that was adopted in the West. So feudal societies, the aristocrats wanting to maintain control used this verse in order to control slaves, indentured servants, etc., that your parentage was so bad, that is why you're a slave. So you have taken on the sins of your parents, they're horrible, and if your parents are horrible, then you're horrible. So in plain words, if through no fault of your own, you had a family that wasn't so great, and you're born at a disadvantage because you're poor, you will have to take on that karma for 4 generations, and there's nothing you can do about it, except your karma. You are a dirty skank. No, you may have no more porridge 4 generations. So this is stuff that interests me. So as I was going into the meditation, like, where did this come from? What was the original origins of this statement? What is going on? And what is the origins of this type of victim bashing socioculturally? How did this all get started? And as I sat in the meditation, I attempted to go through the rabbit hole. I found myself back in early Babylon, early parts of the Middle East when this type of belief system existed. And what I found was that in order to control servants, slaves, subjects of a centralized government, in order to do that, like the Babylonian Empire, etc., they needed a lot of slaves, right? You need more. The Richest Man in Babylon is a book that they have people read in business school. The whole idea was you need more slaves. If you want to be rich, you got to have more slaves. That was the Richest Man in Babylon. So everybody has to be working. They have to be compliant, etc. The actual meaning in this meditation regarded the levying of taxes against subjects of the court in order to discourage the committing of grave acts. That was the answer I got back from Spirit. So in plainer words, If I'm trying to control my subjects and I send my military out and somebody is not complying with a particular edict, they will be levied such a high tax that it will take 4 generations for them to pay it off. So, say you spit on the king or you did something that offended the king. Thank you, Mindset Lorraine. I deeply appreciate that. The king could charge so much money that it would force your entire household into slavery and for up to 4 generations. So that was the original meaning, according to the remote viewing, of the sins of the fathers will be passed on to the children to the 4th generations, was a reference to the levying of taxes that would be placed so high it would take 4 generations to pay it off. The debt is passed on for multiple generations and could lead to the poverty of the family for up to, for multiple generations. It could throw your family into debt for countless generations if you ran afoul of the authorities. All right. So let's talk about that, because I really wanted to talk about that. Hi, Laura Carlson. And we thank you for being here and for being a part of the teachings and being a teacher yourselves. Most of the people here are some form of teacher, I've found out. We like to learn. We like to exchange ideas. So I would like some feedback from people. This is the same thing that happened in Tibet when, if you look at the serfs, when the serfs of Tibet said, having our say, we want to have up, because many of them joined the side of the Chinese. This was the argument that the serfs made for why they left Tibet and joined the side of the Chinese and went back to fight against Tibet, was because they were not happy with this type of levying taxes and persecution of the poor. And then you would wind up in this negative cycle where, you pissed off the king, there's another 100 shekels, then you talked back, there's another. And so you would forever be in this spiral of poverty for generations and never able to escape because, pretty crazy, huh? You're lost, Eileen? You lost me? Yeah, Salam. The low-level serfs, the poor serfs who, say, for example, you levied so many taxes that you said, you know what, I'm going to take your son. Okay, you owe me. You owe the king. You're going to the temple. Your son's going to the temple, and he's going to wash our shoes, and he's going to clean floors. He's going to be a poor monk to pay back your lack of respect. We're taking your kids. So that also was in the Bible. For example, Samuel, the prophet, his mother Hannah gave him to the temple as payment when he was, I think, only 3 years old. All right, so this goes on to student loan debt, right? We are now serfs to the government because for me, for example, I owe $350,000 to the United States government. So I'm a serf. I'm a landless peasant in the serf. I would be considered an educated landless peasant. I'm a barefoot doctor. I would be the equivalent of a barefoot doctor, an educated woman, mobile, goes all over the world I walk along it's interesting. I did a remote view for somebody. She had a past lifetime as a one of these barefoot doctors. And these were women that just walked along the trade routes with maybe an assistant or a family, and they would carry their medicines and they would just treat people along the trade routes. But anyway, I digress. So as I meditated on this idea that the sins of the fathers could result in years of poverty, I then thought about Vladimir Putin. So then I moved on to step 4, where I tuned into Vladimir Putin. It's interesting. The idea was toyed with. Okay, this is it's going to start getting really, really complicated. So is everybody figuring, did everybody get the first remote? Okay, so this is the origins of the victim bashing. It had to do with levying taxes against disobedient subjects. Okay, we got that. The conversation has come up between Vladimir Putin and some of the hackers to attempt to, and they're joking about this, but they're somewhat serious, to free the American serfs. Does everybody get that? Putin has actually talked. How would Putin win the war in America? He's already got about 40% of the GOP in his hands. Right? Between 20 and 40% will follow Putin. He already has them, right? He's already got a Putin party. How could he gain more power? He could gain more power by freeing the serfs. So that means that he could go into existing computer systems with his hackers and begin to erase farm debt and student loan debt. If Putin can hack into these existing systems, erasing debt, then he would essentially be freeing the serfs of America. Merry Christmas, America. It's a gift from Putin. So one of the things they have been doing, so I Googled it last night, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of foreign hacking attempts on the federal student loans, also banks holding on to student loans, debt, etc. They really want to free the serfs because it would be a winning strategy. If he did that and erased it and shut the entire thing down so that they would never be able to figure out or collect, if he did something like that, it would go a long way in terms of Putin getting praise from the American people. Expect from Putin multiple attacks against our systems, our electronic systems, our computer systems. There will be multiple hacks on Christmas Day. Understand that on Christmas Day, they picked to hack us because America will be vulnerable. People will be at home. The president has run amok. There will be multiple attempts to jam the existing security systems. So Christmas Day, we could see whole entire grids shut down. We really have to be very careful. Yeah, and it goes back to that whole idea of the sins of the, like if you don't have the money to pay back your debt, going into debtor's prison, right? Some people in debtor's prison would simply starve to death because they didn't feed the prisoners. It was the responsibility of your family to bring you food, and if they didn't bring you food, you were screwed. But prisoners would often share what they had. You think about it, it's really terrifying, and how it would reflect badly on the entire family. The entire family would be shamed if they had a family member in debtor's prison. Thank you, Michelle Mabel. I deeply appreciate that. All right, so that was the first and second remotes. So Christmas Day, we could be seeing multiple attacks, and going up to Christmas Day and beyond, multiple attacks from foreign governments. All right. The next RV has to do with the United States relationship with its churches. Yes, Jeffrey Stein, the attacks will escalate. It could even be a snowball effect where they latch on to other systems, like a piggyback. So when you stop it, but it's already piggybacked onto another system and scan that information, then when you catch it, it piggybacks onto a new system. That's what I'm being shown. That's why it goes downstream, upstream, and then reconstitutes itself, cleaning new information. The next RV has to do with the relationship we have. Oh, cookies. Thank you so much. Yes, our tea and oranges are over here, so goes well with the cookies. Some of the attacks will be successful, yes. Okay, so the relationship with the churches is that the churches only make money so long as they have parishioners. This is something I saw in the remote view. The desperate need to push people to return back to church, even if it is putting their lives at risk, had to do with the fact that the churches were no longer collecting money on Sundays. So Sunday you pass around the money thing and then they get money. So by being careful and saying no church on Sunday, don't go because of COVID, it was costing the churches money. They weren't collecting money from parishioners. And the churches act as political wings of the Republican Party. And the function is also to indoctrinate people with belief systems that will pump up their support of the Republican Party. So the GOP will possibly formally writing a letter. Guilt trips because the churches are losing money and the churches support the Republican Party. So what happened with the bailout was they wanted to make sure that those churches stayed open. So that's why the mega churches, et cetera, were given millions of dollars in financial relief, while the parishioners who didn't have money to go to and couldn't go to church can't buy food. So that was why, get back to church, get back. We need the money. We need your money. We need your money. We need to get back to church. It's okay. It's safe. It's safe. Give us the money. Give us the money. We need the money. The churches are in trouble. That was kind of disturbing for me to see because it wasn't about God. It wasn't about we need to get back to church for spiritual reasons. We need to get you back to church so we can continue to indoctrinate your brain and take your money and prop up this political structure. So that was kind of depressing. All right, so here is the next remote. Does anyone have any questions up to this point? Because we've got a lot of remotes. I'm going as fast as I can so we can get to the blitzes. But I will open up for questions and then I'm going to go to the next remote. I'm naive. It would never enter my mind that people would be pushing us to go back to church because they ain't got no money. Thank you, Mojo. Prosecco. Oh, yummy. Thank you, Mary Gora Malia. That's very, very kind of you. You know what I'm thinking about doing with my student loans? What do you think about this? I was thinking about doing tarot card blitzes, maybe once a week that go for like 8 hours and just call it Payback Student Loans Blitz. I will be your psychic hoe biscuit for like 8 hours. And then if I do it every week and just put that money aside, I could probably in say 300 years pay back. But I was thinking about doing that. Like, what if I just ran a campaign for a year and said, I'm going to, just push. I probably could do it. All right. Would people attend something like that? Yeah, but I'm really committed, the Indigo Dog, to being debt-free and taking responsibility. I took out $180,000, but it's compounded interest. So, which is morally reprehensible that you would have, that our government would charge compounded interest to poor students. I mean, I can understand charging extra because debt's, inflation, but compounded interest is morally reprehensible to me. 4 hours is enough? Oh, good for you, Judith Tharp. GoFundMe. I want to give something back. I don't want it to be a charity. I want to give something in return. Like, I want to work for it. For moral and ethical reasons, I feel I should work and not just be a little wussy expecting, we're adults here, right? Thank you, Lily D. It's very kind of you. Children of the system, I did get a free education, and you're right about that, Els. I got a free community college, and I got a free, my undergraduate was free. I took a little extra. I think my total education, because I took out special loans, was $10,000. But yeah, I was granted a free education because I was a foster kid. That's true. However, medical school, I went to a private medical school that and you don't work, you have to also pay for your rent, your food, etc. That took me out about 180K. Oh, Tamara Rose. I don't think people would want to pay for that. Oh my God, I'm having fun with you folks. Okay, too much fun. So nobody had any questions about the churches? Did anyone else not think about that? Or did somebody think about that? Because it just was so like, oh my God, I was so naive. I thought they were like, because they love God and taking advantage of somebody's faith to exploit them and naivety. What have you guys noticed today about Whimsy? No cough. The doctors were right. It was an allergy. I've had to deep clean. I have to do another deep cleaning today. They told me to wear a mask. I don't like wearing the mask when I do it, but I have a sensitivity to something in the air. But I did it and I'm doing so much better. I have a feeling part of it is her hair and dander. I feel so much better though since I dusted. Can you believe that dust can make a person feel have that many reactions? I feel, boy, it really helped. Okay, so yeah, very, very embarrassing about the churches. Still have a bit of a runny nose, but not as bad as before. You know who has the worst air for allergies? Georgia, and I love Georgia. I was thinking about buying land in Savannah because I love Savannah so much. But oh my God, they have warnings out. You can see the cottonwood flying. Now I'm starting to cough. I'm thinking about Georgia. But you can see the cottonwood in the air. That's how thick the pollen and dust is. Oh my God, but I love it there. All right, so the next, yeah, all of that stuff. They think it's the mold that's growing on the trees that I'm reacting to because it seems to be seasonal. I don't have a mast cell activating disorder. It's not a histamine reaction. All right, are we ready to move on? It's mold. You're right, Michelle. That's one of the things they think. Oh, and they gave me a cleaning solution. They gave me a suggestion on cleaning. You know how you clean it? The mold that's causing this? They told me you put hydrogen peroxide in it and you spray with hydrogen peroxide and that dissolves the black mold and you can put it in your bathroom. And so I started doing that also. All right, so we're moving on now since I think we've talked enough about the churches. Can we move on? Okay, we're moving on. So Mitch McConnell, we've talked a lot about Mitch McConnell. We need to move on. We're really behind. Okay. So with Mitch McConnell, we said that it was inevitable that the day would come when Trump would have to leave the Republican Party. It was never supposed to be. It's not a healthy relationship. It never was the perfect match. And so Mitch McConnell must cut the head off the beast. The first part of cutting the head off the beast was when he congratulated Biden. But if you go to the Twitter account for Donald Trump, he literally is trying to start a revolution. He's talking about people marching in the streets. He's talking about people wanting to declare martial law. He's really gone quite nuts. So, it's interesting. When I was doing my RVs last night, I was automatic. The information was coming so fast. I literally was like, slow down with the information. But what the RV had said is that there will come a point when he must choose party over president. He will have to attack Donald Trump. The GOP will be forced to cut him off, build the party back up. They must cut the head off the beast in order to save the Republican Party. So this will cost the Republican Party 20% of their base. And they have to cut off their base. They have to do it. And then they will rebuild. And that's what they're going to do. And they have to do it. They have no choice. So that's where we're headed. So Trump is going to leave the GOP. He'll probably either run as an independent or start his own party. And without the mouthpiece support of the Republican Party, it will be hard for him to maintain the energy because he no longer has the infrastructure supporting him and he no longer has the money and the resources. And so they're hoping to starve him out. The Republican Party is really hoping that he'll just starve out. But it's like a cancer. They have to go in, as far as Mitch McConnell and everyone else is concerned. They're going to get to a point where it's a cancer, and they're just going to have to cut it out and get rid of him and starve him out economically. Don't promote him and try and preserve this new Republican Party, which is looking a lot like conservative Democrats. They're green, they support pot, legal pot, and some of them are pro-choice. So, we'll see what happens with that. All right, so those were the blitzes. Like I said, we had a lot of blitzes. I'm happy to go over it with everybody if you have any questions. I mean, those were the remote views, and then we can start with the blitzes now. We live in interesting times. Boy, that hack with Putin. Do you think Putin's going to try to free the American serfs from our debt? I would love that if he did. I'm always watching Malcolm Nance. I really like him. He's got a great way of explaining things. Yeah. Okay. So I have blitzes now. We've got 30 minutes to do blitzes. If nobody has questions about, you're right, Sandra. It's not that Putin is altruistic. It's that he wants more devotees. And if he were to free the serfs of America, then that's how he would get them. Thank you, Holly W. That's very sweet. And I like your little kitty. She's a baby. Oh, I love my kitty. That looks like my kitty. All right, let's do some blitzes. Are we ready to rumble? Blitzes? I'm here for you. You got me doing blitzes for 30 minutes. All right, so we're going to do a simple prayer. We'll do a very quick collective. And then after that, we'll start the blitzes. Sound good? All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. Let's go in. Where we are at right now as a community is excited about new beginnings. You can see we pulled karma card as the sun. So a lot of us have really gotten our acts together. Being clear with what your belief systems are, being willing to stand for your values is the sun card. And Ace of Wands is new entrepreneurship and new beginnings for all of us. One of the things I've been meditating about lately is about this idea of how we create relationships, sacred relationships of mutual respect by being able to talk openly with people about our concerns, being in a relationship with somebody who has committed to the same, is committed to the same values. I know a lot of people have come into session asking about, are they going to find their soulmate? Are they going to be in a great working relationship with another person, whether it's in business, romance, etc. I'm very optimistic for everybody in terms of the future of our relationships in this community, because sun comes in as kind of a bright card that the sun is opening up. But the other thing I've been feeling from this group is that we are very much a group that is committed to being about our business, to checking ourselves, to examining our shadow, to examining the parts of us that are less than perfect. Are we ethically, are we the partner we demand someone else be? Do we step up to the plate? Are we honest? Are we living our highest values? And not just sitting back waiting for the right one to just pop in, that it's serious business, that being in partnership with the right person in any way, shape, or form is serious business. And to simply wait for things to happen to us is really not going to get us very far. This is a group of people that realizes if you want it to be done right, you're going to have to do it yourself. If you want to find the right partner in business or in love or in romance, it's serious business, and it requires, a serious look at what am I about, what are my values, who am I, and who do I want to work with? This is also true for people who may be thinking about quitting their job. Do I have to compromise my values or my well-being in order to continue to work here? Ace of Wands, like I said, is about new beginnings. It also can be about starting new projects, but I love that sun coming in. Like I said, karma card, sun means the truth is coming out. This is, it's not like something is hidden in the back. This is somebody who is very much looking at their stuff. 8 of Cups, walking away from things you've already established. It's another interesting idea that's been coming up for the group, is that we may have been spending years building things that may not have anything to do with our fundamental value system. Finding out really, truly who we are, which is what people did in 2020, also meant having to leave things behind that no longer expressed our values. 8 of Cups is when you walk away from something. It can be like walking away from a house, a marriage, a relationship, something that you've spent a lot of time on. And sometimes it's because it's just not the right place for you. So a lot of people have walked away and left things in order to find themselves, in order to create a life for themselves that's more in keeping with their value systems. We can see here also the Empress coming in. So for a lot of people here in the group today, lots of talented writers, artists, and creativity, because once you free yourself from the things you're afraid to look at, the imperfect parts of yourself, and the people here, I can assure you, you're not evil. You're just, you're a fellow imperfect human being. We've all made mistakes, things we're not proud of. But when we're able to look at our shadow, the way that this group has, and to cry and forgive ourselves and do our best, and really, have that, what Oprah Winfrey calls our come to Jesus moment, right? Or our come to Buddha moment, or whatever. It can be very freeing to finally just deal with that stuff, so that our beautiful self can shine. The Empress is about the beauty of art and creativity and Gaia and giving birth to beautiful things. So there's all this free creative energy that's coming out for the group right now. And then 10 of Cups stands in the 4th house. So for those people who do want partnership, advice from Spirit has been, it's serious business. Expecting the right one to just waltz in. Yeah, it might happen, but this is about finding a lover based on shared values. And it's also about doing your homework. What do you want? Your guides, your spirit guides, your good angels can't help you manifest what you want to manifest in this world if you keep sending them mixed messages. So be very clear in your messaging about what it is you want. Many of the people in the group are coming out of the 10 of Swords. This is a feeling of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. Can be back pains, pains in the back, chronic aches and pains, arthritis, but it also can be feeling that another person has stabbed them in the back, possibly a deep betrayal, family, or most likely in love relationships, because it sits in the 5th house, which is past placement. And what we're sitting in and marinating in is lovers, how we get towards God or spirit, the sacred contract, and then the 4th house, the family. So this is a community that's trying to heal relationships, intimate relationships, and perhaps was so traumatized in the past with 10 of Swords that it has really had a negative impact on intimacy. And the near future is conflict, exchange of ideas. So being able to talk through these conflicts and express how we feel, improving our communication skills, learning how to listen, learning how to exchange ideas with people in our families and communities that may not necessarily see things the way we did. Stressing it at night. People are worried about their health, worried about the economy, worried about the future, worried about their relationships with other people coming to an end, the economic instability. The Moon card comes. This is a hard couple of weeks for everybody, and it has to do with all the crazy stuff I think that's going on politically. The final outcome for us, our economic and romantic cards are excellent for this community. You can see moving in the coming weeks. For those people looking for work, you will be getting a job offer. Page of Pentacles sits in the 7th house as a clarification in the coming weeks. The 8th house, Magician, somebody is going to trust you. So be about your business. You'll be given an opportunity to prove yourself financially. Big job opportunities coming for the group if you want to work. If it's not work and if it's family related, there's an opportunity here to right a wrong and correct communication with family, the hope and fear, to fix the karma of the past, and then sacred union. So we're very clear about what we're all trying to do. We're trying to heal the mistakes of the past where we have betrayed and been betrayed, so that we can enter into the sacred contract with our friends and family and relationships. Like I said, this is the 4th house. It's the energy that's coming in, the happy family. And then the final outcome is the 2 of Cups. The sacred contract will emerge. This is a community where our relationships with our friends and family are the most important thing. And the traumas of the past, how they have affected our relationships, is the thing that we will heal this year. All right. And I hope that gave everyone some comfort. The people from the past who you miss and love, who you have unfinished business with, this is the year that you will have an opportunity to heal that. Yeah. Good for you, Michelle. Yeah. So much unhappiness can be caused simply because we were afraid to be loved, or we said something, or we did something because we were young, and then it prevents us from living our lives, expressing our creativity, and then we keep punishing ourselves. Well, I don't deserve to be happy because I did ABC back in 1982 or 1983. Those are the things that we get to heal this year and going forward, so that the sun can open up for us in 2020. How were we all culpable? How did we all play a part in creating the current situation? Have we all faced our own shadow and worked through it so that we can feel good about the world we're collectively creating in 2021? All right, let's do the blitz. Did that help? All right, so the first question has to do with Michael Flynn's crazy behavior and whether or not the president is going to declare martial law. The president's very stressed. They are closing. He doesn't have access. President Trump does not have. They're closing the door to what President Trump has access to. Thank you, Tamara Rose. That's very kind of you. Oh, Thor and Loki. Oh. And then the final outcome is the Queen of Cups. So in plain words, what's happening right now, when you go into the Akashic records for what's going on right now in the White House, it's a transition. And so as it transitions, less and less stuff is going to be accessible or available to this existing administration as it's transferred to the new system. The new system is being expressed as the Queen of Cups. And you can see the Queen of Swords is in the middle. So they are putting this administration in the past, and they're changing it up, and they're passing everything over to the new administration. And this is happening like clockwork, because it always happens like clock. There's a time when all of these systems have to switch over, and there's nothing that Donald Trump and his cronies can do to change this. Closing the old system, starting the new. Here's the new system. People left. People quit. Barr left. Everybody left. Everything's getting transferred to the new system. He's costing the Republicans money. Biden will be victorious. This is Biden's administration. Biden will be successful. The system is being switched over. There's nothing Trump can do about it. I just want to check on martial law now, what the energy is around martial law, because they're trying to create enough disruption to create martial law. I'll never get the angle right on that. Aw, I love Cash. He's a friend of mine, actually. I've really done brunch with Cash. Okay, martial law cards. God, this is so much fun, isn't it? I love blitzes. No, he'll try. It will fall on its face. Ace of Wands moving in for the new administration, and there's the new job. Yeah, this is Trump's cards. Here's the administration. Here's Biden. New beginnings, smooth waters. Trump's getting investigated again regarding his access to money. Boy, is he in trouble. Now they're looking into money that was used or improperly used during his administration. Okay, somebody had asked about Putin, what Putin wants, and the hack. Now, I'm having trouble getting in, to be honest with you. So I think I'm gonna use the cards, but I can't guarantee anything because the heart center remote viewers are getting blocked. I think. I don't know if anyone here tried to get in. Any of the heart center remote viewers tried accessing any information on Putin, but I'm feeling a little blocked. So let's go in. I just want to do a full throw on Putin. What Putin is trying to do with this hack. And what Putin meant when he said he was giving us a Christmas present. Oh, God. I love Sienna Rose. I call her Mini-Me. She looks just like I looked 40 years ago, right? 34. Very funny. Okay. Putin. What Putin wants. He hates us. You know, every time I go into energy on Putin, he doesn't like us. He doesn't, he's not, I don't get warm fuzzies from Putin. You can see here the Knight of Swords, which is it's the COVID card, but it's also anger, rage. It's an attack. Are we being attacked by Russia? Yeah, I consider this attack. I consider it a type of war. You know, he sees himself as having lost something, but something remains. So something is going on with American security where, to some extent, we're able to thwart some of his attempts. This is why he's not part of the G8. Now it's the G7. He's engaged in his work. You can see the Queen of Pentacles. What crosses him? The thief. He stole something. He stole data, but it's not just about stealing data. There's more here than just stealing data. He stole secrets, right? Family secrets. This is the inheritance card, but it's also, I read it as family secrets. He's got access to family secrets or information that the Americans don't want made public. He's in a strong position to negotiate. This sits in his third house. What he sits in, he marinates. His root chakra, right? His survival, strong. What sits in his past placement, jail, Nine of Wands, feeling defensive. So he's being hit. We are doing something. And then the near future for him, we're giving him an offer before we retaliate. So he's going to be given some kind of an offer by the United States government with Biden to cooperate, or he will face some consequences. He has a lot of our information. Look at that. He's got the treasure trove. This is his seventh house. The seventh house of Putin is the Empress. If you're looking at data collection, that's not good. It means he got a crap load of data from us. Our response, poverty. Trying to get away from the broken man. I'm assuming that's Trump. The person that drug us down, the person that got us into this situation, exile, poverty. This is where we are at. America impoverished, out of the church, desperate, drugged down. The hope and the fear of Putin, romance, a happy family. He wants to expand Russia and Russia's family so that America is basically an extension. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Good job. Good job to you, Miss Laura. The final outcome for him, he must hang it up. He's going to have to hang up this campaign, and he will, because it won't fly with the incoming administration. So now we'll go forward and clarify Biden's reaction. Putin comes to the table as the Queen of Wands, and what is the Queen of Wands mantra? The mantra of Yehudit is, I seek justice absolute, right? Ye justice, ye shall pursue. I believe it's in Judges. So the fundamental drive of this card is leadership, just leadership. Ye justice, ye shall pursue. So this is an individual, whether you agree with Putin or not, who truly sees America as an enemy of the people, and that America destroyed the Federation, the Russian Federation, the USSR, and this is basically retaliation, killing the beast. America's response to it, we are offering something to Putin, money or coin or something. So a negotiation seems to be what's going to emerge between him and Biden, and he's very angry about what we did. In plain words, Putin doesn't see it as he's evil and America is good. When you're sitting in Putin's shoes, he sees himself as seeking justice absolute for Russia, and the biggest threat to the Soviet Union was the United States. The United States destroyed the Soviet Union. So from his perspective, rightly so, all's fair in love and war. The hope and the fear, Biden. He fears Biden. The romance, Biden. The final outcome for Putin, the King of Swords. So that scares me because that's a military king. Thank you, Funky Ozark gal. Ooh, I want to visit the Ozarks. I want to visit all that area. I love the music. I want to see West Virginia. All right, so there's tension that we're going to see between Biden and Putin, and possibly it might not be resolved without some kind of military decision. This is cold. Ice King, right? The Cold War, ice. We could see if I'm worried about the Ice King. I'm worried about this turning into another Cold War. So that is unfortunately where we're headed. It's always about trade routes, Melissa. We took his trade route out of Afghanistan. They built that road. That road goes all the way from Iran to China. And we took it. So that's another reason they hate us. I think Putin was ill Salome, but who knows? I mean, I don't know. Okay, so the next question had to do with Navalny and to see what his future is as a supporter, going against Russia, opposition to Putin. So let's see what's going on with Navalny. He gets his wish. He's going to be given an offer of assistance. And he's possibly going to be, taken up to be, he's going to get international assistance, I think, because Queen of Swords, she puts her past, puts her back to the past, but she's also a strong queen, and then she's going into smoother waters, new beginnings here. I think that this looks like some independent position of political power, possibly in Europe. I don't know if it's necessarily a political position in Russia so much as just the building of some kind of new political party or movement, because the Ace of Wands comes in and that's a new beginning. I don't see death over Putin or anything like that. I don't see extreme illness either necessarily. People had talked about him thinking of leaving. That didn't come up either. If he is going to leave, for whatever reason, it didn't come up in the card chart. All right, we have done about an hour of the blitzes. So for everybody who has to get back to work, for those of you working on Sunday, those were the main blitzes, the remotes, and all of that good stuff. I know a lot of people can only stay for an hour. So thanks to everybody who could only stay for the hour. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, click the bell notification so that you can get all the information about our future upcoming videos. Thank you for attending our blitz. So we're going to go ahead and close, and then we'll do an after hours now. But those were the main questions that we got. Take a minute to just let people who have to go get back to work, and we want to just thank them. Take a moment. Thank you, everybody that can only stay for an hour. We'll just give them a couple minutes to do what they got to do, and then we will do an after hours show. You're welcome. Hey, thank you, adventurous spirit. Hi, Michelle. Oh my goodness, what do y'all think? Let's take a minute to talk, and then we can go ahead and hang and do blitzes or whatever you like with the next half hour. I was asked to do that by a lot of people because if we spread everything out and the main issues don't get, I just want to tackle the main stuff within 1 hour because not everybody can hang for 2 hours. Dang, JC Rains. Well, for you, JC Rains, we sum up the show within an hour so that because we know you can't just hang out for 2-3 hours. The luxury of time isn't, not everyone has that luxury. So we have to respect that. All right, it looks like about 200-300 people had to go, and that's cool. So let's keep going. What do you say? People wanted to know, these are some of the other questions that we got. If the 126 Republicans that had would be censored or in trouble who supported Trump. Oh, thank you, Anna Lucito. Good to see you. All right, what's going to happen to the 126 Republicans? Strife, grief. Things will not go well for the Trump party. You can see strife and grief coming here. He leaves, his power leaves, and when Trump's power leaves because he's deflated, because he was heavily promoted by the Republican Party, and without that fuel, it's going to be really hard for this party to continue. They're going to probably fall away because it's just not going to be funded by the Republicans. You can see the world comes in also. So I think globalism, the world connection, I think if anything for the experts, this was a hard lesson. If nothing else, you have to have global communication when it has to do with things like pandemics. Thank you, Christopher, Pastor. I appreciate that. Or Charlotte, I'm sorry, Charlotte Pastor. Why did I say Christopher? Oh, because I was thinking of my friend Christopher. All right, so you can see here grief for the Trump party loyalists. And again here, grief and struggle. And then the globalist card shows up. So we globalist because it is a one planet world. Holding secrets, not wanting to share, not wanting to cooperate. This is like battle lines also. I always see battle lines between It's like the Republicans are at war with each other. Yeah. The Republican Party is going to go back to having global connections. You can see the Page of Swords. Archangel Michael comes in to sever or slice the head off the beast again. The head of the beast will be cut off, and it's going to be painful. It's like cutting off a limb. But I still see what I saw last time, which is that Mitch McConnell must cut the head off this beast. It's bloody, it's messy, it's necessary, and it's inevitable. That's the future of the Republican Party. It'll be a good party. What do y'all think? All right, will Congress object to the electors? No. Victory. Moving forward. Great things ahead for spring of 2021. Biden's going to open the War Act. Damn. It's like our savior or something. Biden's incredible. Look at this. New beginnings, victory. This is his first 100 days. Look at Biden. Look at this power. Look at that. This guy just hits the ground running. And look at this exchange of ideas. He is going to have Republicans. He is going to bring on Republicans. Gang. I really think Biden's going to be a great president. His cards are incredible. People wanted to know about the COVID deadly variant, so let's go ahead and take a look. Thank you, April Showers. Well, I think people are very concerned. You can see a Four of Pentacles is there, which is to examine, close. It's also to retract. Queen of Swords, that's a good sign because that would mean that the problem can be dealt with or we already have the solution. And then Queen of Cups, or King of Cups, would be to extend or to help. Also, this is a scientist. The scientist comes and then the helper comes. So I think that they already have a solution with the vaccine. And I'll go ahead and throw in the vaccine. People wanted to know if it was safe. Yeah, celebration. Look at this. God, I'm telling you, Biden's cards as president, he's a really good president. I wish he was 20 years younger so that we could keep him for 2 terms because he's just so great. He's so brilliant. He's so brilliant at translating what the Republicans are trying to say, what they get wrong. They're a little, no, it's not quite like that, but I hear the heart of what you're trying to say. He's able to, he's like the GOP whisperer. He helps them not destroy themselves. He's also one of the only people in Congress that isn't bought and sold, which is why he was the poorest member of the Senate. He didn't have any money because he wasn't bought by anybody, which is the other reason I think the Republicans are scared of him. Can't be bought. All right, Biden and the stimulus check and the future of Biden's presidency is next. Aid from Biden. What a great man. What a great man. He's just a great man. Damn, he's a great man. Look at this. He will rule based on his ethos. Look at that, the Constitution, the ethos. This guy's got it together. He'll bring on scholars, the wise, the academics, knowledge. I think he might even be better than Obama. His cards are so good. Oh my God. He's going to bring back the middle class. Oh my God, look at this. Things begin to really move. I'm telling you, Southwest United States has a beautiful world they're creating and a beautiful ecosystem. I always have visions of that. Look at this. The scientist, he really is going to give power to the scientist. And look at this. We get an inheritance card. Nice money coming. Financial stability. He's a very good president. He reminds me of Truman energetically. Well, that's cool. What do y'all think about those blitzes so far? I got ravaged. I wish. I haven't been ravaged since, I don't know. Iowa's economy. Yeah, let's just do some blitzes for fun since we got through everything. I think of FDR, I think more of Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren really is FDR. Whereas Truman came afterwards and he had to negotiate a little bit more with both sides. And Truman was the one that integrated the army. So I think of him more as like a Truman, because the truth of the matter is FDR also made a lot of mistakes when it came to racism, etc. I mean, he closed the door to immigration. One of the, Anne Frank's father was one of the people that got rejected, that led to her death. So even though FDR did a lot of great things, it was really Truman that cleaned up a lot of the racism. Okay. Biden and Medicare. Well, it's not what everybody wants, but it looks like they're developing a system that looks like Kaiser Permanente. They're trying to get everything they're trying to get a public option that looks like Kaiser. And, that reminds me of the system in Israel, and that reminds me of the system in Europe. It's just your annual exam, make sure you get your inoculations, make sure you get your basic public health, because the existing system changes dramatically in the coming years. You can see the 5 of Swords. It didn't work out, but the Wheel of Fortune changes things. And then we have a nice 9 of Pentacles coming in, which is a confidence card, financial, economic stability. What I like about this is that it's streamlined. And it very much reminds me of when I was living in Germany, in the sense that everybody got basic services. And then it was worked out in your taxes that a certain percentage was going to go to basic services. And then if you wanted like extra services, you could get that through private insurance companies, etc. And I think that that's where we're headed. I'll do a clarification. Yeah, it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning of they're going to structure. In plain words, if Kaiser doesn't, you can get it. They may take a system like Kaiser that's private and add a public option to it. New beginning with existing structures. They're not going to tear down anything. This is what Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders was trying to explain. Yeah, they're transforming the existing systems, smoother waters. That really makes a lot of sense. And it's really the right way to do it. Rather than tear everything to start it again, they look at something that does birth to death like Kaiser, and then they develop government systems to expand, and also to develop public health options that are like that have that kind of existing structure. Also, this is like family medicine, also the whole family, 6 of Swords moving to smoother waters. The fact that the outcome was a 9 of Pentacles, which is financial stability. Also, what I like about this energy when you go into it is that it's financially streamlined. in the sense that, if you're working as a diner waitress, they're going to take 25, 30 bucks a month out of your existing taxes. And then you have your annual, you have your PAP, you have all that taken care of. That's what I see. So yeah, we're going to get the public option. And the other reason why we have to do a public option from Biden's perspective when you go into that energy is because we're facing public health crises, and those public health crises are costing America a lot of money. So say, for example, you don't have a public health option. So millions of people are not getting basic health care. And so for that reason, they're no longer part of the workforce. They can't go to work. They're sick. They can't go to work because they're not getting their med, et cetera, et cetera. And so it cost the nation as a whole billions and billions of dollars to not have a basic public option. So for that reason, when you look at the crazy freak economics of it, that is why they will come up with a streamlined, affordable way to offer even basic services to people. It's better for the economic growth of the nation that its citizens be healthy workers. And that's why it changes. And it will probably change within 2 to 3 years. So we have 2 to 3 years, but I'm very confident within 2 years, we're going to have some kind of public option. All right, let's talk. How do y'all feel? Yeah, tomorrow. You're right. Yes, he will, Michelle Maybell. The thing that's so incredible about Biden's cards is he really looks like he could become one of our greatest presidents. His cards are even better than the cards I had for Obama. And I think it's because he walks in with a lot more support than Obama had, in the sense that Obama had real opposition from the Republicans tried to destroy him, which was, it goes back to what Michelle Obama had said in the remote viewings when she had said, Barack has post-traumatic presidency disorder. And he talked about that in his book, why it was so hard to write the book. It took him 4 years, almost 4 years. Harry's mom, 2008. The criticism of Obama was the bombing of Libya, which destabilized the Middle East. He was pressured to do it by Saudi Arabia, and it created a great deal of hardship and suffering for people, and will continue to create a lot of suffering for people in that area for a long, long time. It was a working economy, Libya. People were being sent to get university degrees in Europe, all paid for by the Libyan government. All that's gone. It's all destroyed. It's a bloodbath now with roving gangs. And so that's why Obama said it was the greatest mistake of his career, as president. Okay, what else? Let's look at Trump's cards. Thank you, Michelle Maybell. Oh, that's a good point too. Susan, I think I am going to look at the stock market, and then we'll do full cards on Trump if you like. Or Kate, I did the collective reading. We do it in the first hour. This is after our show. I get everything done within the first hour because I got too many people that got to go to work. See, that's why we're down to 900. People got to go. Can't stay. They got to work. All right. So I'm going to look at the stock market before I do a deep dive on Trump. There is going to be an adjustment. You can see the Five of Pentacles moving in, foolish mistakes. But Emperor, the Feds are going to come in. They're going to try and stabilize it, but I think it'll drop down to about 28,000. 27,000 until spring of 2021. So we'll see a drop of a couple thousand, but then it will stabilize. Hard work. Yeah, it'll crash a little bit, but we'll be okay. I agree, Michelle. All right, we're going to look at Donald Trump's cards and his mental health next. Because I saw something really weird happening on the 18th, and evidently there was like a big fight. Everybody was like freaking out in the Oval Office. They're screaming about martial law. I was like, oh, that must be why I saw them all going crazy on the 18th. Evidently Flynn was in the Oval Office. Declare martial law, kill them, arrest your enemies. I mean, they just, yeah. And I think that lawyer might have been there too. Crazy. The main focus for Trump right now is getting another job. New beginnings, new money, generating new money and new ideas. He's trying to get out of there without getting arrested. You can see his first card is the Thief's card. What crosses him? Oh, Nancy Pelosi, justice, ye shall prevail. Right. The mantra of the Queen of Wands. She seeks justice, absolute. Not so fast. Not so fast, Mr. Trump. She is on top of the thief. What is above him, he leaves. He will leave the White House. What sits below Donald Trump? He is attempting to go back to the past. The Six of Cups sits in his third house. It's what he marinates in. It's what he contemplates, the good old days, going back to an old love. What is his past? His past, addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, codependency. His future, Grifter's card, the Two of Pentacles, juggling coin, rocky waters waiting in the background. His seventh house, his immediate environment. He's defending himself against multiple allegations. The Seven of Wands meets him in his immediate environment. The others in relationship to him, sometimes it's the enemy in the eighth house, is doing scholarship and research and seeking information. He wants to put a stop to that. The hope and the fear, walking away from a battle he knows he can't win. And the final outcome for Donald Trump, the secrets will be revealed. The truth will come out. Look at the other. The other is seeking information, and then the information comes out. The clarification for Donald Trump. Aren't y'all having fun? He defends himself against money laundering. I told you he was going to get it on money laundering, and also he didn't pay his taxes. They're going to get him on money. Look at that. Dang. Saw that coming. The other in relationship with him, looking at the money. There it is, the Buddha card, examining the coin. They got him on coin. It's what he did with the money. That's what they got him on. Hopes and fears. The offer. He needs some kind of an offer. Get me the hell out of this. And then I did some of this stuff for you, GOP. Bail me out. If I go down, because I was benefiting you, so you better get me out of this. It's that kind of a feeling. And then the final outcome regarding the truth, justice will prevail. Ace of Swords. He's screwed. Everything's coming out. They won't protect him at all. There will be no protection. He will be thrown to the wolves. The Ace of Swords is, he's in really serious trouble. I don't think people understand just how much trouble this guy's in. I got to go further into this because that looked really... It's his daughter. It's Ivanka. They got to him via Ivanka. Holy hell. What is this I'm seeing? Did she go? Holy shit. Did she turn him in? The feds are all over Ivanka. They're getting information. They got it. They got a lot of stuff through Cohen. And then something about overseas invest. Holy crap. It's Ivanka. Ivanka. She did this. It's Ivanka's overseas contracts and signatures. It's not just about the inauguration fund. She was selling condos and doing illegal business overseas, and they caught her. They will catch him by getting Ivanka to turn. That's their strategy. He was dumb. Trump was dumb because Trump got his kids to break the law for him. He got his children to sign the documents. This is something that Michael Cohen told us. Remember when we accessed information from Michael Cohen, what he told us? That Trump doesn't want to have his signature on anything. He'll have somebody else, like his children, sign it. And that was when he showed us Ivanka's signature. So all's fair in love and war. In a sense, you could say that she's how he raised her. No loyalty to anyone, even him, right? All right, I'm going to look at the future of Ivanka Trump next. I can't believe we're living through this. Can you believe we're living through this? Who here is a remote viewer? Like, who here is it? Is this not the best training ground ever to be a remote viewer? That's why, like, more people, I get more calls, more emails requesting people learn it. People used to, when we were doing this kind of stuff in like the 80s and 90s, almost nobody was interested. Now it's like everybody wants to do it because the political situation is just crazy. Ooh, Michelle. Yeah, I know you are, Michelle. You're actually becoming very powerful. Bye, Douglas. Thank you for staying past the hour. I know you're one of the folks that can't stay for the whole thing. Oh, really, Fillerin? Yes. Fillerin makes a really good point about classical mythology in the sense that we definitely have these archetypes, but yeah, and like it's almost like a Greek tragedy, right? Where she must betray her father, and it's yeah. So it is a bit. Bye, Douglas. Thank you. Well, Michelle, you've been doing really good work. You know, Sheila, Celtic Tarot. Damn, is she kicking it? She's become such a good remote viewer. I mean, it's like, what do you need me for? It's like a lot of you. You're like, I'm like, you don't need me. I have nothing to teach you. You're already doing it. Oh, hi, Sheila. I was just bragging about you. I got a chance to see the remote view you did for Diane, and I was pretty damn impressed. Great job. All right, I think we'll do a couple more, and then I'm going to call it a day. I got to get some teas out for some patients. You're very welcome, Sheila. Very impressed. Yes, RV has aspects of being astral travel, but as some of the heart-centered remote viewers will tell you, it's actually complicated. The people that are in training, I think a couple hundred of you are in training, but when you think about it, it's actually could be considered complicated. After a while, though, I mean, like Sheila, Sheila will talk about the fact that she can do the whole thing. Boom, 1 minute I'm in. So if you keep doing it over and over and over and over again, you just do the steps without thinking, okay, I do the prayer. And as I'm doing the prayer, I'm grounding, the energy's coming up, it's focusing on my gut. I'm aligning my core chakra with the client. We're communicating. Then I go through the rabbit hole. So now I'm in their energy. And then once I'm in their Akashic field, I can then go out. So, there's a specific way we want you to do that. If you're doing the HCRV technique, we don't want you to jump ahead. We don't want you to jump ahead to step 4. There is a definite step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Depending upon in the beginning, it's like, oh my God, this is taking forever. I'm going to fall asleep. But if you keep doing it consistently, a lot of people. One of the teachers who taught this to me, she was a nurse. She was doing a demo with somebody else, healing touch therapy. And the practitioner had asked the nurse, are you grounded? Because they were going to do a demo. And the nurse said, yeah, I'm ready. And what was interesting about the nurse that was teaching, who said, yeah, I'm ready, I can go in and do this, the energy healing, was that she was able to ground herself in the technique just by, she was doing the thinking, she was doing the technique just while the other person was talking about it. She was already ready to go in and do a healing demo. So the more you do it, the faster it gets. And the more you'll know what that feels like. You'll feel, for example, your stomach will clench on the target when you're digesting or attempting to take information from a target. If you're giving a reading, you'll actually feel your stomach connecting with the energy of the other person's core, and then you're digesting, and you're maybe using the cards to trigger information in your subconscious as you digest that data. So yeah, I sometimes will feel it in my gut. And then once I'm in, okay, now I'm in the Akashic field, I feel pretty comfortable. Now I can go and check your boss. I also will look at the 8th house when I'm doing a 12-card Celtic spread, just because that helps me understand the energy of the person that the client may have conflict with or issues with. Oh, hello, Noelle. Noelle, good seeing you here. Okay. Kushner. There's some feeling here that Kushner is going to be protected. He does have strife happening. You can see the strife card, 8 of Wands, but there's a 4 of Wands coming in, so an opportunity of some type, and Hermit. It seems like he's able to, oh, damn. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Howie. Boo-boo. Oh, thank you, Daphne Berry. You're such a kind lady. The people he was doing business with, he's going to have some people coming after him. 8 of Wands, to be attacked. It's a strife card. 10 of Swords. He may attempt to move or go somewhere else to correct things. You can see the travel card here, honeymoon card, a new beginning. However, the final outcome, because of this investigation, is jail. It's my jail card. No, they can't. I still see him going to jail. I've always seen him going to jail, and he's still going. I don't care how rich he is, he's going to jail. Same outcome, jail. He did a bad thing. Oh, Daphne. You're so sweet. Yeah, maybe they can get a lover's suite, Karen. A jail lover's suite. All right, I think we're done here. Did we answer everybody's questions? Jail, not Yale. Oh, you a clever little girl. Okay, we'll do one on the Saudi prince, and then I'm going to have to take off and clean this house. But didn't I do better? My nose? It helps, right, when I really do dust? But, you know, when I pick her up and I get cat hair all over me, and if some of the cat hair gets in my nose or something, then it will just set me off forever. This is the future of the Saudi Arabian prince. They are creating a very solid, they're trying to stabilize the economy of the Middle East. He's got a star card over it. Ace of Wands, new beginnings and new alliances. So yeah. He's this prince. One thing I will say about the prince based on these cards, he's not a racist, which has been a huge problem in the past with Saudi Arabia. Racism, sexism, you know, hating Jewish people, oppressing foreign workers. But you can see here, he's really good about trying to create new alliances, star card. He pulled double aces, new beginnings. This is probably the alliance with Israel and the United Arab Emirates. But it's actually looking really great. And then the final outcome for him, the Hierophant, he will probably be able to protect himself with the Four of Pentacles, pulling back economically, guarding himself. I don't think he'll ever see true justice in that respect, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, I guess the conclusion there, I was just curious if he had ordered the killing or if he was telling the truth that he had wanted them to arrest, but that he hadn't given that order. But it appears that he was completely okay with the guy getting murdered. That was what I saw on those cards. All right, thanks. Yes, he is a murderer. That's right, Greta. I looked and yes, he is. All right, love and light, everybody. Thank you so much for the support. I love doing this. I appreciate everything, all this love and support. You guys really have no idea how much you have helped me. You always talk about how I've helped you, but you folks really, you took me from a very dark place at a time in my life that was very difficult, and you pulled me to the other side, and you've given me a very happy life. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you and let you all know how grateful I am that you're here and that you're a part of my life. And so I just wanted to thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right, love and light. And if you're still trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. If you're trying to see me for a doctor's appointment, you can go to drwhimsy.com as well. I love and appreciate you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. Happy holidays. And I guess I'll see you with Sheila Christmas Day. We're going to be having a Christmas party, and I sure hope everybody can join us. And I believe that that's going to be on Celtic Tarot's channel. All right. Celtic. All right. Bye, everyone. Love and light. Thank you.